This is who is projected to start for the NFC South this coming year. Matt Ryan with the Falcons. He's been there forever. Teddy Bridgewater just acquired. Drew Brees, he's back for another year. And Tom Brady, we know, signed a 2-year deal with the Patriots. With the Bucks from the Patriots. Now, let's see what I think 2021 will look like in the NFC South. I'm sorry, it says NFC South. It's supposed to be the NFC. Yeah, the NFC South. Let's see what 2020 looks like. Slightly different. Not much has changed. I do think after this year, Drew Brees is gone. I think he's moving on. I think it's one and done. They've been screwed out of NFC Championship with the miracle play with Stephon Diggs, Marquise Williams. Screwed out of a Super Bowl against the Los Angeles Rams. Pass interference play, and now it's pass interference. And once again, pretty much beat up by Minnesota last year. So I think it's over. I think Taysom Hill takes over for the NFC South Saints 2021. How say you? Moving forward, let me give you guys NFC North. 2020 projections for the NFC North look a little bit like this. Mitchell Trubisky for the Bears, we believe will be starting, although Nick Foles was signed. Matthew Stafford for the Lions. He'll be back, hopefully healthy. Aaron Rodgers, we know he's not going nowhere. And Kirk Cousins just re-upped on his deal. This is a solid group of quarterbacks, but how do I think it will look in 2021? Again, I'm taking into account free agency. I'm taking into account the draft. This may be a shocker for folks, but yeah, it's over for my boy. I think Derek Carr ends up in Chicago in 2021 somehow or another. It's not looking good for my boy. I don't think he's going to be there much longer, so I think Chicago, of course, they're moving on from Mitchell Trubisky any way that they can. And I think Derek Carr's going to have to be that stopgap until next year. I think the Lions are going to move on. I think they're going to be bad next year. Really bad. Terrible. Not because Stafford isn't any good. I just think, I don't know if he's going to hold up. He hasn't held up in the last couple of years, even though he looked great this season. I don't think he'll be there next year. I think Matt Patricia, it's over for him. They got to move on. Only way to move on is to get a new quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. Number 1 pick, 2021. I'm going to say it now. Book it. Let's move forward. Who do I have? NFC West. We got Kyler Murray, number 1 pick last year's draft. I think he will still be the quarterback, of course. Him and Cliff Kingsbury going to develop some chemistry. Jared Goff, I think he gets 1 more year at the very least. 1 more year before Sean McVay has to try something different, but 1 more year. Also, I got Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy G, still being the quarterback for San Fran, and Russell Wilson. Nothing's changed. I don't think anything changes about that division next year. Why would it? You got young quarterbacks. You got a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You got a quarterback that just went to the Super Bowl the year prior to that, prior to the 2 years that we're talking about in the future. I think Jimmy G, Jared Goff, Kyler Murray, Russ Wilson solidified for the next 2 years at their teams. Where I think is going to be some movement that people aren't ready to see, but let's go jump right into it. NFC East 2020 quarterback projections. NFC East, some will say Dak Prescott, Dallas Cowboys, Daniel Jones, New York Football Giants, Carson Wentz, the Eagles, and Dwayne Haskins for the Washington racial slurs. Let's see who I got projected as quarterbacks for the NFC East in 2021. It look a little different. Shout out to everybody tuning in, Box in the building, Cran Neely in the building, Matty Sella, Cammy, Brian, Big Gucci Strap. Yo, we shouting out to everybody. I want y'all to take a minute, just give it some time. Y'all see what I'm thinking. 2021. Jerry throwing money like it's crazy. He just gave Alden Smith a contract. You telling me he really gonna pay Dak Prescott next year? It ain't happening. Dak getting up out of there. Not only is Dak getting up out of there, I think Dak gonna prove a point. What's the point? Y'all got to see me twice a year now. Because you ain't want to pay me, you got to see me twice a year now. I think that's going to be the situation when it comes to the Cowboys. I think they're going to move forward with the young Justin Fields. Why Justin Fields? The kid is good. And I think the Cowboys aren't going to be great next year. They're going to have to make a move. They're not getting Trevor Lawrence. They would love to get Trevor Lawrence. It's not happening. Why not get Justin Fields out of Ohio State? Start over, Jerry. Start over. You paid everybody. You got to get a quarterback. Start over. Daniel Jones ain't going nowhere. Carson Wentz ain't going nowhere. But I think Dakota Prescott ends up in Washington. He's going to start somewhere. Why not show Jerry and them boys twice a year why you messed up? A little controversial. I know people aren't going to believe it, but that's how I see it. Dak Prescott ends up with Washington in the racial slurs. Moving forward, that's my NFC. Y'all drop your NFC. Y'all think anybody's moving? Anybody staying the same? 2021 projections. It's early, but why not? We got nothing but time. Let's go to the AFC.